6 right on top.
All right, at this time, if we could have everybody find their seats, we're about to get this started.
Greetings, Scouts and Scouters of all ages. It is a pleasure to be here today as your Master of Ceremonies. I am Kai Zunsmith. James Halbrook will be my co-MC. Today, we have the opportunity to celebrate Troop 50's 100th anniversary. At this time, I invite Jack Porter, our Troop Commissioner, for opening comments.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just wanted to this is great. Thank you all for coming, by the way. And if anybody you know didn't make it, let us know and we'll do what we can to send them some of the stuff as long as they can help us raise some funds to pay for the expenses and help the troop out a little bit. I want to thank the advisory committee. We started almost 2-3 years ago planning for today's event. Unfortunately, most of them couldn't be here today, having other responsibilities. But also within the troop, there was a working committee, and there's a list in your program, but one name I neglected was Alex Cooney. Wave your hand, Alex. He's doing our audio and video for us this morning, and really appreciate it. You'll see a lot of the names that you'll recognize. I didn't include all the people that have worked, but there is in your program a list of Eagle Scouts, almost 100, a little over 140 Eagle Scouts for over 100 years of celebration with the troop, and the Scoutmasters. But if you see any errors, spelling, years, omissions, please let me know, because we want to try to have this set up as a record, and we'll keep it going intact. One of the things we didn't have time to do was look up every single Eagle Scout historically from 1927 on and just see what they did, who they were, and that's the next thing we're going to keep working on. So I just wanted to thank you very much for attending, and thank you for the committee and all the Scoutmasters, and especially with the present troop. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Attention, will the audience please rise? Color guard, forward march. Salute or hand over heart and not in uniform. Color guard, advance. Color guard, prepare to post the colors. Color guard, post the colors. Please repeat with me the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Scout sign. Please join me in the Scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. 2. Color guard salute. Color guard dismissed. Troupities. Please remain standing for invocation. At this time, we invite our Senior Minister, Dr. Jared Wortman,
that's
Wortman.
good, yeah.
To lead us in prayer.
All right, well, go ahead and have a seat. We'll get to stand in just a moment. Well, good morning and welcome, and thank you for being here today to celebrate 100 years of a scouting legacy. I love the word legacy because its meaning and intentions run deep. To name a legacy is to name what went before us in the past, where we are in the present, and what is still to come in the future. All of us are a part of stories that define us and shape us and instruct us about the best of who we are and where we're going. And this is true when it comes to so many of the places where we find belonging, meaning, and significance. When I was a child, it was no small thing that my grandfather's scout uniform hung in our home. My grandfather, who became an Eagle Scout in the 1940s, has long been someone of integrity and character in my life. I remember staring at his old and weathered uniform and realizing that my grandfather was once my age, someone growing up and learning how to make his way in the world. The world has changed a lot since the 1940s, and the world is very different today than it was 100 years ago. And yet being a person of character, with a commitment to be prepared for whatever life throws our way, is still just as important today as it was a century ago. As with most of life, it's hard to untangle the legacies that make us who we are. People, places, and experiences, all of these things forge us. And so on this day, we do well to remember a century of scouting and all those committed to being prepared, trustworthy, and kind leaders who have made the world a better place. We are better as a result. As a senior pastor of this church here at Plymouth, it is no small thing for us to have a long and storied troop to have found its home right here at Plymouth. Generations have listened and learned and lived out their scouting commitments, making our community better as a result. And so on behalf of our community and on behalf of all of Plymouth Church, it is an honor to congratulate all of you on being a part of a legacy that continues to matter. Whether you're here today as a scout, a leader, a family member, or a friend, may you all keep doing your part, upholding the best of the scouting life for all that it means and for all of the meaning it will continue to infuse. In time, you will stop earning badges. Some of you will move through the ranks, and a handful of you will be honored as Eagle Scouts. In time, some of your uniforms will be put away, but hopefully the character and the virtue built during your time as a scout in this place will always remain. I'd like to think that maybe someday, someone who is a part of the next generation will see your uniform. Maybe you'll take it out of a drawer or down from a shelf. Maybe you'll run your hand over all of those wonderful merit badges and you'll remember. You'll tell stories. You'll name the leaders, the grown-ups who cared and invested in you. And you'll name the friends that you made and the friends that you still have. You'll name the dedication and the hard work and the commitment to do something bigger than yourself. When you're doing this, you'll be naming a legacy. There will come a day in your own way when you will remember the legacy that we are all here today to celebrate, and you will be passing it on into the future. And this is exactly how it should be. And so now I invite you to stand and to pray with me in remembering the God that we trust is holding us always with unending kindness and love and care. Let us pray. God of all peoples, places, and lands, we gather today as a people of memory, invoking you to be with us now. Today we remember the faith, commitment, and integrity of those who have gone before us. And as we remember, we express gratitude for all of them, even those who will come after us in the future. Let us realize that we are always living lives of consequence. What we say, do, and make in the world is always imbued with your divine significance, because we believe that we have been called to participate and share stories of good news for the sake of others. May we be prepared to face this day and every day, trusting that you are guiding us, leading us, and loving us as we are going. May we realize that being physically strong, mentally awake, and morally centered is not for our benefit alone, but for the benefit of all creation. And so we ask that you would guide our hands, our feet, our hearts, and our words, so that we might be the people you are longing for us to become. I pray all of this with great thanksgiving. In Jesus' name, amen. You may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Wortman. At this time, you're going to take a half-hour pause. Please grab a beverage, reconnect with friends, and maybe make a new friend.
Looking at all Troop 50 Scout pictures. What?
That was our service project then, so
Yo, we had an advertisement, Jake.
It's like that one Spider-Man got together.
You have to destroy it. What is it?
Mr. Derek, I'm Matthew Mitchell. And were you a scout in Troop 50?
All right. I know that many of you came here just for the food, so we're going to get after that momentarily. Would you all please rise and bow your head? We are going to do the Philmont Grace. If you know it, please sound off and follow along. For food, for raiment, for life, for opportunity, for friendship and fellowship, we thank thee, O Lord. Amen. All right, please be seated.
A scout sign. Now that we've eaten, I'd like to invite Cubmaster Tyler Kamerman to give us a brief update on Pack 50.
Hello, everyone. What a great event. Just want to thank all the people who had a hand in putting this together. As I'm looking around the room eating lunch, it's neat to see past scouts, past troop masters just getting together and having a good time together. It's really neat to see, and pretty big honor to hit 100 years. So thank you all for being here. Just wanted to give you a quick, update on Pack 50. As we're aware, 2020 into 2021 was a rough time for lots of organizations. And through some great leadership, we pivoted, as we probably have overheard, way too many times during this time. But a lot of our PAC 50 was PAC 61 up until about a year and a half ago. And we merged, kind of revived PAC 50. So there's families that had been in PAC 50 before and a bunch of families that moved in from PAC 61. Thanks to great recruiting in 2021 and another solid recruiting class again this year, we're up to almost 70 scouts in the PAC, which is super exciting. And I will clap too, because that certainly was not all me by any means. We have 8 lions, 15 tigers, 11 wolves, 13 bears, 16 in the first year Webelos, and 6 Arrow of Light. In addition to recruiting well, we're really doing some great program. We've got great den leaders that are taking the time to walk through the programs with the kids. But in addition, the Cub Master before me, John, had a really strong focus on getting everybody outdoors, which we're trying to continue. So when the weather allows, doing PAC meetings and den meetings outside, we really feel like that's what a lot of families are missing and why there's kind of a resurgence in coming back to Scouts. We do a fall and spring family camp out, which allows the Scouts and their families to come along, not just the Scouts, and that's been really well attended. We've been working to get a monthly hiking club up and on its feet, getting people out on a monthly basis. And then I guess in addition, one thing that I'm really focused on is trying to get as many parents involved, because with a PAC of almost 70, we really need support from all sides. So that's one of the things that we're going to continue to focus on is getting more and more parents involved, which hopefully will flow up to the troop level as well. 6 of our Webelos from last year have become active members in this troop, which we're also excited about. One of them is one of our MCs today, so that's pretty awesome. And we're confident with that number in the PAC that we're going to continue to feed well into Troop 50, and I think we're in an exciting spot where we've got a strong troop and a strong PAC. So I think the more we can work together, the brighter the future is going to be. So thanks again for all of you being here, and thanks for the opportunity to speak with you.
I'd like to invite Scoutmaster Brown to give us a brief update on Troop 50.
All right. So first off, how about a round of applause for these 2 gentlemen up here? James is first year in our troop, first full year. He crossed over last spring. He stepped up into this role. And then Kai was not expected to actually be participating in this role tonight, but we had a scout call in sick, and he stepped up. So how about another shout out to Kai there? Thank you. So Troop 50, we are an active troop. We go camping monthly. When I showed up, I heard that, and I thought you people were crazy. But I got around to embracing it, and we camp monthly with the troop, or at least as much as my employment will allow me to, we camp with the troop. But the troop gets out every month. We currently have 45 scouts enrolled in our troop, and we're looking to grow. We are looking forward to this incoming class from PAC 50 and a few other PACs. We have a boys troop and a girls troop at this point. Our girls troop is kind of on the smaller end, but we're looking at the next couple of years, it'll start growing as the PAC starts feeding us young female scouters. So some highlights from these past couple of years. We've been out to Arkansas backpacking a few times. We've made it to Philmont again. We were delayed a few times due to COVID. We were delayed because there was a forest fire out there, but we made it back. We had, I believe, 9 youth that went with us this past year. We had a wonderful experience. It was my first time back to Philmont since 1999, so it'd been a minute. And it was great to see these young scouts step up and take on new positions. As far as young scouts stepping up, I would invite Jasper Countryman and Jamie Briggs to stand up, our senior patrol leader and our assistant senior patrol leader. Let's give them a round. All right, you guys can take a seat. These two scouts show up consistently. They put in effort. Sometimes you got to motivate them, but that's to be expected, right? But I very much appreciate their leadership. This is meant to be a scout run troop. It's not meant to be Mark Brown's whatever army. So I appreciate them showing up and doing the work. And they are developing young leaders beneath them. They are the reason we're doing so well. They present ideas, recommendations to the Patrol Leaders Council, and then make things happen. So with that, we're currently standing at 3 Eagle Scouts. So if I could have those 3 rise, Jamie, Jasper, and Bash. Let's give them a round of applause. You guys can be seated. If you take a look at this chart over here on the wall, if you get the opportunity to, you'll notice that we have a ton of Life Scouts. I have issued a challenge to the troop for all of our Life Scouts to achieve Eagle before I step down in September. I don't know how realistic of a goal that is, but I know that many of them are diving in and taking it head on. So again, just can't speak volumes enough about our troop, whether we're out backpacking, hiking, canoeing, cycling 50 plus miles, whatever it is we're doing, first aid skills, building emergency shelters, practicing search and rescue techniques. They show up, they do the work, but more importantly, they make it fun and enjoyable for everyone around them. So let's just give a round to the troop.
At this time, would Scoutmaster Brown come to introduce our special guests?
So there's a reason I put a chair there. I was just going to keep coming up here. Originally, I wasn't supposed to talk the special guest piece, but what I would like to do is I would like to invite our parent committee members to please stand. There's more of you than that in the room. Okay. Let's give them a round of applause. Okay. Any active ASMs in the room, please stand or remain standing. We've got a few of them. That's you. You're welcome. You'll notice that's not a lot. So if any of you out in the crowd are wondering what you could do on your Monday evenings, we would love to have you put on the uniform. Okay? You guys, please be seated. Thanks again. Now, I believe we have some people from the district out here. If you're a member of the district or at a higher level of scouting, please rise, even if you've already stood up. If you're involved in roundtables, anything at the higher level. Or were. Sure. All right. That covers a lot of people, but that doesn't cover everybody. Everyone in here is appreciated. I'm going to have another opportunity to talk about other things, and if I keep going, I'm just going to cover that ahead of time. But one more thing before I go, briefly. Jack, would you please rise? And Betsy. So these two played a significant role in making today happen. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite Scoutmaster Brown to come forward and recognize current and former Scout and Scouters.
Man, I missed you guys. So, let's get this started. If you were ever involved in PAC 50, or currently are, please stand. That's more than I expected. Let's give them a round of applause. Now, this is more than just about PAC 50. We want to recognize all scouts and scouters. So I'm going to kind of start low and work my way up. If you were ever a scout who earned scout rank, please stand and remain standing. Do a short round here. If you ranked up to tenderfoot, remain standing. That didn't change much. You might as well just stay standing. If you ranked up to second class, please remain standing. We're doing good. All right, first class. Pretty good. Star. You're getting close, though. It's okay. Life. And then lastly, Eagle. All right, we have a lot of Eagle Scouts in the audience, so let's give them a round. All right, you guys may be seated. To our adult leaders, I ask that everyone, whatever role you've played in scouting as an adult leader, please stand. It doesn't happen without you. I am grateful for each and every one of you, even those of you that I've barely met. You've played a role that not many will stand up and take on. It is a significant challenge. It matters, you matter, and you are appreciated. Thank you. All right, I am going to attempt to bring up a video, so if you bear with me a moment.
Greetings from the Maytag Scout Center. As your Scout Executive, I want to say congratulations on over 100 years of scouting here in Central Iowa. Lord Baden-Powell once said, the real way to gain happiness is by giving it to others. And for over 100 years, Troop 50 has been doing just that. And as you reflect back on all the memories for the last 100 years, whether it be on the hills above the river at Metigla or on those dusty trails in the mountains at Philmont, thousands and thousands of lives have been positively changed through your efforts. Many of your scouts have gone on to become leaders in our community, and countless service hours have been given to make our community a better place. So thank you again on behalf of our board of directors, many of whom are sitting in the room today, for your 100 years of service to the Des Moines community. And again, thank you, and keep on scouting for the next 100 years.
If on our program, you notice we have 143 Eagles and 53 Scoutmasters documented that have served the troop for the last 100 years. So we will continue to document as we go forward, because we had to recreate all of it over the last 2 years that we didn't really have good records for. However, I noticed that some people have been bringing in some of the past minutes from their fathers when he was a Scoutmaster. And I know we have some new stuff from the 80s that we need to go over and find out if we missed anybody. But right now, I'd like to have Mark, would you please stand? Everybody, thank you. The troop is so strong, and I listed just a few of the more recent Scoutmasters because in my ability to work with them as commissioner, I've noticed the amount of activity that has gone on with the troop. There's literally almost a program every single weekend, which is amazing, including camping. They've gone literally all over the place in summer camp and done all kinds of high adventure kind of stuff. And thank you to Polk County and Brad Titus and Carl. There's a program for high adventure to keep all of that going on, and through a grant that it helps scouts participate in those outings that may not have been able to afford them. But I'll just quickly start with Steve isn't here, David Foster, Stan, John, Stan, Karen, where are you at? Herring, yeah, please stand. Dutch isn't here, unfortunately, but Dutch did print all this for the troop for this event through Coke Printing. Bruce Kelly, Scott McConaughey wasn't able to join us. Betsy. Myself, Donna Reed. Donna Reed has served 837 years as the committee chair and counting. Brad Titus. Carl. Thank you all. These are the leaders that have been working diligently with keeping the troop as active, and it's just amazing to see all and try to keep up with them. It's been very difficult. So thank you, and Mark especially, thank you.
Attention, will the audience please rise? Scout sign. Please join me in the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. Salute or hand over heart if not in uniform. Color guard, retire the colors. Color guard dismissed. 2. Thank you. Thank you for attending today. Please feel free to continue your conversations. I look forward to seeing you at our 125th anniversary celebration. Trip dismissed.
Hey, all that historic stuff. How's it going? Carter, thank you very much. Where'd you go to school?